Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the FrostBytez gaming experience, part 22 of the Pokemon Blue walkthrough where, well, ladies and gentlemen, there's just no easy way to put this. Frosty is nothing but a big, fat liar. So, I remember I said in the last part that we were actually going to look to do something a little bit different besides trainer fights and, you know, something a little bit more interesting. And yeah, Frosty lied real bad because Frosty is going all the way back to do the other route on the way to Fuchsia City, which is a little bit more interesting, but not really. And what's worse is that, again, from the looks of it, I didn't record out me backtracking all the way, so apologies for that. But I guess this means I have more free time to talk about upcoming events and whatnot. Especially because I did just finish taking a look at the Steam store. Just barely, because Steam's having trouble staying up because, as I'm sure myself, everyone that has Steam is currently looking at all the deals and whatnot. So it's been relatively hard to keep it up. But there was one really nifty thing that I saw. Dragon Ball FighterZ is actually on sale at this point in time, which, you know, by the time that even I do upload this, the same would be true because the summer sale goes on until July 5th, I think is what it said. So, yeah, FighterZ is at 40% off, so only $35. So, you know what that means? That means Frosty here is going to be getting it, and Frosty is going to be looking to play it, and it'll probably be the next thing that you guys see after Pokemon Blue is done. So, hype for that, you know? Trying to keep the hype up because this part is another 15 minutes of nothing but trainer fights, and the first couple bit of it is me riding my way to there instead of cutting to there. Also, instead of flying, because, you know, he forgot to get it. But I think this is where I do get the HM fly, so huzzah for that. It's too late anyways, so again, I am so sorry about, I guess, I don't know, maybe I thought that, looking at it because it's a 15-minute part, I guess I felt like I needed to, like, keep the beginning portion of it in just to make sure that it stayed a 15-minute part. There's some other things I had to do, like right here where I do get TM number 29, which does contain Psychic. That's why he says, you know, oh, don't tell me you're here for this. You know, he's like, oh, he's a Psychic giving us Psychic. Now, Venonat can learn Psychic on its own, so can Venomoth, but the way that I saw it was they don't learn Psychic for quite a while. They don't even really learn Psybeam for quite a while. And the area we're going to, we deal with a lot of Poison-type Pokemon. And so the way I saw it was, I'm not going to be teaching Psychic to another Pokemon, so I might as well just give it to Venonat earlier instead. Why am I taking a look for here? Oh, I think I know. I think originally what I just did was supposed to be like the early portions of it that was supposed to get cut, and I just did not cut it, so you saw it anyways. But I think it was supposed to be like, oh, hey, I gave Venonat Psychic, you know, but yeah, okay. Either that or I changed something else and I just didn't realize it. But anyways, bottom line is, I didn't do a good job making sure this video got edited well enough. I'm sorry. But again, I wasn't planning on giving Psychic to another Pokemon, so I figured let's just give it to Venonat ahead of time, so then Venonat has a really strong one-hit KO move, and then just use that to make the grinding process even easier. As I think Venomoth, if my memory serves correctly, you get at level 32. But anyway, so talked to this one girl. I guess she's a famous pop idol star or something like that. Basically has its own hiding spot. So in order to keep our silence, gives us the HM fly, which again, I could have gotten way sooner, but, you know, I was just not being smart. But anyways, so after this, we go to a new route, which I cannot remember off the top of my head. I think it's Route 16 and 17, if I'm not mistaken, but I could be mistaken. I'm not 100% sure on that one. Anyways, it can teach Fly, which we find out, hey, Charizard can't do it, but that's why I got a Sparrow for, because now I can utilize it. I should have done this like 10 parts ago, and again, I'm sorry that I didn't, you know, just kind of live with it, I guess. I don't know. I mean, you have to. I'm not going back and re-editing this anyways. So anyways, we got ourselves another Snorlax. So if you did make one of the Snorlaxes faint, you have a chance of getting another one. But since Snorlax is not going to be a part of my team, we're going to make him faint anyways. Easy experience for Venonat trying to get into a Venomoth, you know. But anyways, outside of this, so Route 16 and 17, I believe, is what they are. It's mostly considered of bicycle trainers. It shows them on motorbikes, but it's very clearly that they are just on normal bicycles. But aside from that... Oh, excuse me. Goodness gracious. Whew! Anyways, it's mostly poison-type Pokemon going against, so it's a really easy area to get, you know, Venonat a lot of experience. And I do believe get to a Venomoth. I know I get it in one of these next two parts. I don't know exactly when, but it is one of these next two. So, there we go. But anyways, yeah, so Steam Summer Sale is up and at 'em, but it's relatively slow. I did see a lot of really interesting games that I might be taking a look at getting sometime in the future. But first and foremost, like I said, definitely going to be looking to get Dragon Ball FighterZ, because kind of been waiting for a Dragon Ball Z game like that to come out for a while. Even though I suck at fighting games, you know, I mean, it's Dragon Ball Z. I'm going to play it one way or another. And Xenoverse was fun, but it was like a different kind of fun fighting, quote-unquote, style game. Xenoverse 2, more of the same, but wasn't something that I really found all that interested in personally. This one I'll give a try, and we'll see how much I actually enjoy it, because I'm going to be playing it, you know, for the first time ever for you guys, for the YouTube channel, so that should be fun. And I don't think I'm ever going to get competitive with it, because again, even if I do fairly well, I'm just not good at fighting games. I never have been. The only Dragon Ball Z quote-unquote fighting game that I ever felt I was actually good at was Tenkaichi 2. That was the one where me and James and a couple other friends of ours, we played that game, and I'm pretty sure I've said it numerous times on the channel, but it really speaks to just how much that game really meant to us when we played it, because there would be days where we'd go to school, and once school was done with, all of us would just meet up at one of our houses, and we would do nothing but play Tenkaichi 2. That's all it was. We would just sit down and play Tenkaichi 2. We would just play some kind of metal, hard rock, whatever music in the background, pick whatever numerous amounts of teams we could pick. It was like never one-on-one. It was always, you know, 5-man teams going against one another, and just finding weird new combinations, stages that certain fighters were good at and other fighters were not good at, new strategies, new ways to combo. Like, that game was like what Melee is for a lot of other people. And that's not to say that Smash Bros. Melee wasn't important to us either, but we just had a better connection with Tenkaichi 2 than we did with Melee. Still had some fun with Melee, but it was mostly Tenkaichi 2 that we had so much fun with. Played that game non-stop. It was crazy. And I've yet to find another Dragon Ball Z game that was as fun to me. I haven't. Maybe Dragon Ball FighterZ will be one, but even then, it's not one that I would really consider myself being very competitive with. It'd probably just be something that I would only play for YouTube for fun, maybe a couple online matches just to test the waters, I guess, but not something I'm gonna really go to my way to really like try to hard play like crazy. It's also maybe not my style to be super competitive anyways, because all of whatever competitive nature I did have kind of died with League of Legends, really, you know. And other than that, most of my competitiveness is probably with card games above all else, because me and James, we grew up with card games. It's what we love the most. So I'm pretty sure all my competitive nature goes into card games, and even those I really just kind of suck at. But that's just because I'm not patient when it comes to playing card games. I make moves way too fast without really thinking about it, because I'm not good. As simple as that. So I'm not the most competitive person in the world, so when it just comes to YouTube videos, I'm probably just, I'd much rather just stick to fun games for YouTube. Maybe I'll show like a couple competitive matches of certain games, maybe Dragon Ball FighterZ will be one of them, but, I feel like, right after Pokemon, it'd be really good if the next game that I played was Dragon Ball Z related. And again, the next big Dragon Ball Z game that I was looking forward to playing was Dragon Ball FighterZ. So that'll be interesting to see. Maybe I get some opinions from people that are watching this that are also into Dragon Ball Z. What do you guys think about the game? Is it well worth it? From what I could tell, it still has very high ratings, and people really do seem to still love playing it. So, who knows? I might actually enjoy it too, or I might, absolutely hate it. It'll also be really good to play a game with a controller again instead of using a keyboard. I've been doing a lot of games that mostly use keyboards, and I've been wanting to play a game that I could sit back, relax, and just play on a handheld controller. I was able to do that with Rogue Squadron, but it felt weird because I'm used to playing Rogue Squadron on an N64 controller. I guess I also did it with Batman Arkham Asylum, but that was a while ago, because obviously Pokemon I just did it on the keyboard, you know, because it's like, why play on a controller when it's only 2 buttons? There's really no point, really. So, it'd be good just to get back to a controller-based game, you know, for once in quite a while, because outside of that, you know, certain games I do play on the computer is mostly using the keyboard. I don't really play a lot of games where I can lean back in my chair and, you know, have a controller in my hand and all that stuff. So looking for that to hopefully be a thing when it comes to Dragon Ball FighterZ, because it looks, you know, it's one of those kind of fighter games, and I don't know how to do something like that on an actual keyboard, so much rather just stick with using a controller. And, yeah, that'll be interesting to play. I might start recording that very far ahead of time. I might actually start recording it this weekend, actually, and, you know, it'll just be something that you guys will see further on down the line. You know, so that'll be fun. Probably not something I'm gonna do for Twitch though, because again, I'm not gonna get fully set up for Twitch anyways, and you know, I'd much rather just save Twitch for later on down the road and have Twitch be my, you know, Pokemon Gen 4 thing and Kingdom Hearts at one point, and I don't know, we'll see from there on out. You know, I'm still 100% sure on everything I'm gonna do, but you know, right now I don't really plan on doing Dragon Ball FighterZ for Twitch. I just don't. Oh, maybe that was it. Okay, now that I think about it, I think the reason why, and this is going back to the very beginning of the video, is I showed Venomoth's move list. I was like, that's kind of weird because, you know, I showcased me getting the TM Psychic and using that. Why would I show it? I think it's because I just brought in, is it Mega Drain or Giga Drain that you get off of Erica? I think it's Giga Drain. Let me see. Okay, it's Mega Drain. Either way, I think it was to show off that I got Mega Drain as a move. So, yay me. That's about all I got. That's all I got off of that, was just say yay me, call it good, and just kind of go from there. Oh my goodness. But yeah, I took a look ahead of time. I know this part and the next part is just nothing but trainer battles, but it is in routes 16 and 17. And the stats for it, I'm going to wait until the next part, because the next part's where I really go into the grassy area of it, so it's easier that way. Or maybe I do it in the first portion of this, but even then, I think at least wait till the next video to go over the stats of that one, because I just want to get this one finished, so then I can start looking towards getting to work. Oh boy, here we go. Oh, gotta stretch the back out of it. Oh, baby. Ooh, I've been sitting down way too much today doing this. Oh, goodness. I did get up and walk around, though. I did make sure to do that. You know, I wanted to give myself a little bit of a stretch before doing this, even though it's a shorter part in comparison. So the interesting thing, and by interesting, quote unquote, this is the only grass patch area, by the way, but like I said, I'll go over it in the next part on all the stats. And this is me getting frustrated because I'm trying to find a item that's hidden here, and it's really weird because the quirk. I don't know words. It's whatever. The thing about this particular route is that you can only do it on a bicycle, and what makes it weird is that supposedly you're on a hill. So unless you're pointing in another direction, your bicycle is always going to go downwards. And if you press down with it, I think you actually go in a faster movement, but not by too much. But if you press any other direction, up, right, or left, you do it relatively slow, even slower than basic walking. You're supposed to visualize the point that you're trying to ride your bike up the hill or ride your bike across. You know, it's supposed to be really tough. Why you have to have your bicycle for this part, I don't really know exactly. I think it's supposed to be a means that says, hey, you are capable of getting the bicycle, go back and get it. But this is not a place that's really required. This is more of an extra. Because as you guys saw, I've already been to Fuchsia City, and this is the only area where a bicycle is required. And this is just another means of getting to Fuchsia City. So, because of that, I find it really weird because you could skip getting the bicycle altogether, ignore this area, and it doesn't affect you in any way. And I always found that kind of weird. But anyways, that's going to do it for this part, ladies and gentlemen. Next part, I will go over all the stats, what you can catch in that area. More trainer fights, you know, whoop-de-doo, all that good stuff. But enjoy the rest of your evening, and we'll catch you guys on the next part.